Usually I'm selling calls and that's all great, and now I'm starting to buy calls of SLV. What the heck's going on? It is November 18th, Monday. This is the video log that takes 30,000 to a million. And today, after I show you the account, I will be talking about silver and why I have apparently start to scale into some silver calls, SLV calls, due on April 14th, $15 calls. And why am I doing this? For a couple of reasons I'll talk in a bit. Let me just quickly take you through the account. I'm sitting at $74,700. The big movers of today is EXK. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Apple, which is $156 plus, but minus 212. I increased my liability by $212. Therefore, I am negative on the trade. And then I have Wheaton Precious Metals moving $34. And the big loser here is Chemical, but still sitting over that $9 mark, so I'm okay with that. Minus $270 and another 38 in liability, and that basically accounts for the entire loss today, just from Chemical. Now, I want to talk about the silver thing. So why am I doing this craziness with the silver? Usually I'm selling calls and that's all great, and now I'm starting to buy calls of SLV. What the heck's going on? SLV, by the way, is the ETF that tracks the price of silver. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. All right, so basically they have a stockpile of silver. So betting on SLV is kind of like betting on the price of silver. Not really, because it slowly sheds a little bit of value over time because it takes a little fee for storage, etc. So that's why the SLV price is lower than the silver price. If you've noticed that, it's not exactly 1-to-1, and that difference is gonna keep increasing with time because they need to, scrape a few fractional percent per year in order to pay for storage and moving all the metal around and stuff like that. That takes money, right? Okay, so why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing it for a few reasons. So last year, well, there's two dynamics, right? So either the market goes up or the market goes down. Okay, so if the market goes down, then the supply and demand mechanics might start playing out. And I don't want to explain them again because I've explained them in different video logs. But what that basically means is that if there's a downturn, a lot of metals like copper, nickel, and so forth, their production goes down. And since silver is a byproduct of some of these, most of the production of silver is a byproduct of these type of metals, then the production of silver will also go down. Therefore, if the demand stays steady, there will be a supply shortage, naturally rising the price higher. All right, simply put. I hope you all caught that. If you didn't catch it, just replay or look at the other videos. All right, now that's the natural way of silver bouncing up from a market turn, which has happened before, like for example 2008, 2009. But what's been happening lately is that speculators have been front running that move, and like what we saw last year, I think, before the bottom market bottomed out, silver was already on the rise, and people were kind of predicting this dynamic was going to happen, and then silver eventually topped out, and then started going down towards the end of this year. But I'm thinking that this might happen even earlier. I think that if there is no market downturn, it doesn't even matter because there'll be a speculative rally of people anticipating a downturn. I think there's a lot of people that are really anticipating this downturn right now. I mean, this rally is really hot and struggling. The market rally, by the way, seems to be struggling to make additional gains. Yes, it is posting all-time highs, but they're like, they're weak and they're not extremely decisive. If you look at a chart, well, let's take a look at a chart. Why don't we take a look at a chart? Let's see, SPY, S&P 500. Let's take a look at a 5-year chart. Look, this is a kind of a slow grind here compared to, let's say, this bull run here from February 12th to 2016 all the way to January 26, 2018. That was a pretty dramatic run. And from there, let's see, 286. Now we're sitting at 311. That's not that much of a gain. Okay, that is like 10% gain, 12% gain over the course of January 2018. Now we're almost 2020. Over the course of 2 years, I mean, it's pretty slow for what the market did from here to here. That's 32% or something like that in a similar time period. So it's a lot bigger rally. So it's been pretty slow. So people are anticipating they're bearish. It's weak rallies, weak new all-time highs and stuff like that. And usually it's just it's also just caused by some of the big companies, the more well-known companies that are posting up these rallies. Like a lot of these less well-known companies are not really having all these all-time highs. What is it? What was it called? Wilshire 5000 was it? Let's take a look at that. What was it called? Not that you guys can help me, but what was the index? What was it? WT. Let's see. First, Wilshire. Berkeley's. What the heck? Anyways, I can't find it. But most of these rallies are due to like companies like Apple and Microsoft and Visa and all these big companies. So it's not a very broad market rally. Anyway, what I was starting to talk about here is there's another sign that leads me to stack up some silver calls. It's not going to be that much gain, by the way. Like if silver goes up a couple bucks by then, I'll just be getting $1,200 by risking $700. It's not a huge play, and silver does need to get to $19 by then. So in order for me to collect that, if it goes up a lot higher, that's going to be great. But just $2 is going to be enough for me. And I'll probably hold it until expiration, but I might scale out actually if silver reaches 19. So here's something else that makes me bullish on silver over the next few months. Look at this, SLV. All right, that's the ETF that we're talking about. 1 week performance plus 1% and 0.47. All right, nothing strange there. Silver over the last month minus 4.3. Okay, so week plus 1.47, month minus 4.3. Now if we go to SIL, which is the global silver miners, look at the week performance. You'd expect that, right? You'd expect a little bit of a leverage on the price of silver. So silver was up 1.3 or something. The miners are up 2.84 over the last week, silver miners. Okay, and now since silver was down 4 point something percent over the last month, we'd expect the silver miners to be down like 8% over the last month, right? But instead, what is the case? Boom, up 5.06%. Although silver went down 4%, the silver miners are up 5%. So the silver miners have been outperforming silver over the last month. And whenever that happens, that's usually a sign of a bull market. Especially over here, on the downside. Look at this last part. Let's look at SLV. See how this flattens out? The miners are climbing, so they're really outperforming the price of the metal by a lot. And I mean, it's a difference between minus 4% and plus 5%. That's huge over the last month. And usually that's a sign of a market that's anticipating a higher silver prices. And I think that we just might get them. So there's three things apparently now that make me be bullish on silver at this very point. One, there could be a market correction. Two, there could not be a market correction, but people think there will be a market correction or a slowdown. And three, the miners are outperforming the metal in the last month. So that makes me a real bull. Is there going to be a huge? There might be a spike down. in December or January or February, but I think by March and May, I think the silver should be sitting at $19 plus. And I'm betting on that. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Now, I've been wrong about my silver calls so far, especially. Well, I'm sorry. I've been right about my silver calls. I've been wrong about EXK, which is the company, the vehicle that I used to trade the silver market with, because I knew the company very well. But lately, it's been kind of disappointing me. It's been going up for absolutely no reason, though, in the last couple of weeks, ever since the earnings call. I can't figure it out. It must be that anticipation of really high silver prices, because otherwise this company should not be going up. I mean, it had an absolute disastrous report. Everything was bad. I mean, super high cost. They were paying 21 something, 36 or I don't know, to produce an ounce of silver, all in sustaining costs, right? And they were selling it for what, $17. I mean, it's like that doesn't make that's not a very good business model. Oh, it's depressing. But I really need to move away from that company. But I still have 900 shares. I'm still sitting on them, and it's been going up for no reason. Like I said, hopefully it keeps going up as the silver market. I think I'm gonna hold it as an additional lever that I can pull during this next move up in silver, move down and then move up, or just move up. And but I'll definitely be looking to exit once that spike happens in March or May. Now, make sure that you don't just copy this trade, right? You got to do your own research and analysis over here, because you're responsible for your own trades. And make sure that you understand the risks that are involved, especially with options trading in light of Wall Street bets, Reddit. Okay, so you know what's up. Like, you could lose all your money, so make sure that you really study this. And if you're not sure, consult with a professional. Okay, me, not a professional. I'm just a dude like you, trying to like make some money over here. Okay, trying to make a million. And honestly, y'all should be doing the same. You should be making a million right now. And I hope you're ahead of me and you're making more money than I am. All right, been flat. Market's been scoring all-time high, so your account is probably doing better than mine, which is good. Okay, we need to all make money. We can. It's possible. It's not a zero-sum game. All right. Okay. With that said, I think I'm going to call it. Peace.